they had a department where like the whole staff went to, and they had a band they hired for me, and I just performed all of my songs, and I had everybody in their office clothes, man, like just go wild.
Cool, cool. Yeah. So this podcast is about you, your journey in music, and we'll talk about the new song that you just put out as well, Shawty Goodnight. And I love your sound, man. I really do.
Man, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Means a lot. It means a lot.
Yeah, it's rad. I love it because it kind of has like the guitar driven kind of like punk rock sound, but the, hip hop influences are there. And yeah, I just dig it a lot.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. I like to see myself as a genre bender and
Hmm.
a good curator. I like to, just, mix all of my influences into one gumbo. Yeah, man. So,
I love it. So you're from
yeah.
Amsterdam?
Yes, sir. Born and raised out here, man.
What's it like growing up in Amsterdam?
Man, Amsterdam is cool, man. Super diverse. Born in the city, man. Growing up, it's just a lot of different backgrounds. You have people from like Dutch descent, you got African people, you got, people all over the world, like, so it's you when you grow up, you have different flavors and different references. When you grow up having friends and like or classmates, you go to their crib, you learn about their original heritage. So it's dope, man.
Wow, that's amazing. I would imagine like there's probably a lot of dumb Americans going there, like trying to party. Like, is that something you
Yeah.
see quite a bit?
I'm telling you, man, it's different. They call it the Sodom and Gomorrah out here, man. So it's definitely a party city for a lot of foreign people. But yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Are you pretty close like, I've never been. Are you close to that like atmosphere or like that downtownish area of Amsterdam?
Yeah, I'm actually 20 minutes away by car.
Oh,
It's
that's not
not
bad at
that
all.
far. So yeah, not bad at all. So yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. And how did you get into music?
How did I get into music? My dad is actually a DJ, so that was I
Oh,
think
that's
my first
cool.
introduction to music. I guess he put a headphone on my head when I was a baby. So yeah, that was
Like
my
a
first introduction, definitely.
club DJ or a radio
Yeah.
DJ?
Club DJ. Yep.
Oh, wow. Does he still do it?
Yeah, he's still out there doing gigs, So yep, that was the first person to really put me on to music for real,
Mhm.
different type of genres.
That's cool. Does he spin at like just some of the clubs in downtown? Like,
Not like the cool clubs right now, but back then he was.
yeah,
Yeah, back then
sure.
he was the man in
Wow.
the city. Yep.
That's crazy. I bet he's got some good stories.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Oh man, I can't imagine.
Yeah, he's definitely kind of it's funny to him that his son came to like, just ended up being an artist himself. So yep.
Yeah, he's probably stoked living kind of vicariously through what you've got going on.
Definitely. Yeah, he one of my biggest fans. So yep.
It's amazing. So he put headphones on you at an early age. When did you like kind of like was there a moment that you can remember that you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a musician.
Yeah, it was when I was in high school. In
Okay.
high school, may interview. Ogenblik. My bad.
Oh no, it's all good. I didn't no,
Yeah,
all good.
I was let me think, in high school, this classmate introduced me to rapping. He was
Hmm.
like, "Yo, my name is such and such." And I was like, "Yo, my name is," and then he was like, "Yo, so what's your artist name, your rap name?" I told him
Hmm.
like, "Yo, I don't know how to rap." He's like, "Come on, man, everybody know how to rap." And then he taught me how to rap on the spot, freestyle.
Oh
And
wow.
I always loved rap music. I always loved hip hop. But it
Hmm.
was when he like really put me on to like actually freestyle is when I grew a infatuation for like actually making music myself. So from there on, freestyling, battle rapping to
Oh
actually
really?
demos. Yeah. So that's kind of how it started. Yeah.
Wow. Have you always been into multiple genres of music? I mean, you can definitely hear those
Sure.
influences.
For sure. So, you know, um, obviously it's like my background, like my dad putting me onto music, but then when you actually start going to school, and when you so me growing up, I always loved pop music. That was really heavy onto like, just big pop music.
Hmm.
uh I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. My dad used to like, show me tapes of Michael Jackson, and I was like, whoa, what is this? And
Mm-hmm.
then from there on, the big boy bands, rock artists that started emerging around the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely like, just Linkin Park, a lot of Linkin Park. Who else, man?
Avril
Even
Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne for sure.
Just going off your
Man.
Instagram.
Yeah, even a Limp Bizkit, man. Like,
Oh, there
it's
you
so much
go.
stuff that I grew up listening to. And MTV, man, like, just really a lot of kids weren't allowed to watch MTV, that type of thing, but I was glued to it, man. So I was like, yo, there go my favorite song again. And I would like be so invested into some of the artists too. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yep. It's just, yeah, that's how I kind of like, and then in school you start talking about what you saw on MTV. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was there any like artists from around your area that or bands from Amsterdam that you were like way into that maybe didn't break here in the United States or didn't really make it outside of maybe
It was,
Europe or anything?
yeah, it was this one band called Direct, where I felt like, man, I don't know if they really transcended in like, overseas.
Mm-hmm.
I think but they were really big in the country. They were really big in the country. And we obviously like in school, we used to always be, fan of the band. And
Mm-hmm.
to us, that was the world to us. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We were the world to those artists. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
felt. So um man, are there other artists? It's some pop singers from the Netherlands that I thought was really dope too. This girl, her name is Sita.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she makes music anymore. But yes, it's a lot of artists from the Netherlands that were really popping back then, and a lot
That's
of rappers too. Yep.
yeah. All right. Were you big? Like, was the church big in your life as far as like the music that you were influenced in, or no?
Church music.
Yeah,
Uh, I didn't really grow up on
on
like
like gospel music or anything like that.
Uh, maybe like Ghanaian, because my parents are originally from Ghana. So like, yeah,
Okay.
definitely like Ghanaian gospel music I grew up with. Like, yeah. But that,
Okay.
aside of that, a lot of Ghanaian hip life and high life music, which are two different genres in Ghana. Uh,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, it's so much music that I grew up listening to, bro.
Sure. It sounds like it. That's rad. So when you learn, or when your buddy teaches you how to rap in high school, you said from there you started doing what rap battles? Were these like contests and stuff you'd enter around town, or were they
It
just
was
like at school kind of?
at school for real, man. Like,
Uh,
it's not nothing like really organized. It's just like, you hear the bell and then it's like, yo, okay, what we doing? All right, freestyle. And then we start
okay.
like just cracking on people and that type of thing. So,
All right. And when do you start like writing music, or when do you start putting these freestyles to beats?
let me think. I think when I was, let me think. I think when I was 14 years old, I actually recorded what I wrote down and played it for some of my classmates. And man, they were so positive about it. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, man, yo, I like this, man. I like the feedback that I'm getting from this, something that I created in my bedroom. So what happened? I started to put these songs online
Mm-hmm.
and I started to kind of like create so some of my friends turned into like a little fan base, you know what I mean? And then from
Sure.
there on they would share it with other people, and that's how like the little fan base would kind of grow.
And just from there, it just kind of started to grow and grow and grow. Was there a particular song that did really well and it kind of changed everything for you?
Yeah, yup, definitely. There's this song called Cool Kid.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I dropped the song Cool Kid with a video that was yeah, I would say that kind of like you know kickstarted everything for me for real.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And with that, like the success of that song, I mean, you put a record out the next year after that, and like, were you just seeing your fans grow? Or like, were you doing more shows? Like, what was kind of the like what happened or what came with the success of Cool Kid?
what came with the success of Cool Kid? So last minute when we did this song for Cool Kid, I got called by the director, and she urged me. She was like, "Yo, I'm at this location right now, and yo, there's this tank that we could rent out for the video. So we can rent this tank for the video. And I know that we're like, we're really on a small budget right now, but trust me." She was like, "Trust me, we need this tank in the video if you really want to make this video stand out." So I told her like, this is the day before the shoot. It's like, all right, let's get it, let's do it. So we ended up doing it, and then 2 years after, I got hit up by an A&R, and he was like, "Yo, big fan of the music, man. First question is, how the heck did you get a tank in your video?" And I was like, "Man, that's crazy, yo." And this dude ended up being the A&R to the label that I partnered up with right now. So yeah, it's
Oh, really?
yup. So
Okay. So you
I guess
ended up
the tank
sticking with
worked.
that guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. The
Yup.
tank worked. Where did
Yeah.
the tank just came from? It was just there, and you're like, and they're like, okay, we can shoot with it if we do
Yeah,
this
it was
quickly.
it was at this industrial area, and somebody I think she knew the the people that like just owned the company that like just rented tanks. And yeah, it's something I've never saw in like another video, so it's something definitely unique. You should check it out. Cool Kid,
Yeah,
J-Way.
I haven't seen that video yet. That's rad. I need to check that out. That's incredible that you had a tank in in the
Hey,
video. With Happen
I was
Dappen,
even,
was that
I
a
was I was on top of the tank too, so it's not just us shooting it as a B-roll.
oh,
I
you
was
were
actually
in
in
the
a
tank.
moving tank. I was in a moving tank.
That is sick.
I'm telling you,
That's
check it out for sure.
oh man, that's amazing. Was
Yeah,
Happen Dappen like the one of the songs that kind of really took off? Was that the first one that really, I mean, that's got millions of streams on Spotify. I mean, was
that
it
was
like
my yeah, that was the first song that actually passed million streams, 2 million streams already now.
yeah.
And yeah, that was sick to me, man. I was like, yo, to me, I always just put out music, and I never really had a thought that because I would do shows, and those are
Mhm.
like the fans that I see, or some of them like happen to be fans like that I see at the shows. Some of the people that I see at the shows happen to be fans, but when you actually like put out music and it's out into the world, you don't really, it's not that tangible. You don't get to see especially like this is early Spotify days, early
Yeah,
SoundCloud.
because that was like 2016, right? When that record came out.
So it was hard to like, it wasn't tangible enough for me to see that I really had people that listen to my music outside of
Mhm.
like shows. So when I saw happen like what it did in a week, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, I'm looking at the numbers and I'm like, yo, what the heck is going on? And it got added to playlists, and it got added to, and then next thing I know, it's in the viral Dutch charts. Yeah, in the charts. And I'm like, yo, this is beyond me at this point. It
Yeah. What was that moment like? Were you just like, this is really working? Like,
was
obviously.
great. I was just because I was satisfied with seeing like a 10,000 streams on a song. I wasn't even seeing that type of numbers on my songs back then. So seeing 10,000 in a week, because all of my songs before that I think were below the 10,000. And then
Mhm.
when it was like I was just throwing songs and whatever sticks, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Then what happened, Dappin took off. I was like, yo, this this thing is actually like really, really like, getting traction. And it really motivated me to go harder because I felt like if I can make one song that does this good, like yo, I'm gonna go to the studio and like, just believe in my work and just create more. So
Mhm. I mean, you've got a handful of records out and like the EPs and like how did that like once COVID happens, were you doing a lot of shows or supporting the record? Have you done tours or anything like that? Or were you mainly staying in,
it was
the
that
Amsterdam, Netherlands area?
man, I'll tell you this, man. I remember 2019. That was a crazy year for me, man. Like show wise,
Uh-huh.
It was back-to-back shows, man. Like it was crazy. It even got to a point where I was like burnt out, or I kind of predicted me getting burnt out. So I was like, yo, okay, I have to ease down
Mm-hmm.
and just just at least have a record out, because I didn't have a record to promote when I was doing the shows. So I was still like doing shows off of a project that I dropped, I think a year before that. And I
Okay.
had already recorded like new songs, and I was kind of like burnt out, almost getting burnt out. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, I'll wait till I get like a new project out before I start doing these shows again. Plus, I didn't want to like continue doing shows where half of the crowd don't even know my songs lyrics. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
man, am I gonna be a monkey in a circus entertaining these people every show, or am I gonna like just work on the craft, put out songs, and next year when I do shows, people actually run to the stage, with the intent of like, yo, Jay might perform one of my favorite songs. So
Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
yeah, so you were doing a bunch of shows, and then you were kind of you thought you were gonna get burnt out, and then obviously everything shuts down. So now all you have is time, right?
Man,
And like,
and I'm like, God, that's not what I meant.
oh man, is that when you start writing what became like "No, I'm Not Okay"?
I actually wrote "No, I'm Not Okay" in 2019 during the hectic life that I was.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So and that song is awesome. I love the acoustic record you put out with all those songs, Diary and all that acoustic.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
that's a really cool take on the songs. So no, I'm not okay. The EP was all done in 2019.
Yeah, the EP was done in 2019. This is when I partnered up with with the team, and we only put it out a year later. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So it
Okay,
was
so
a
that's when you did with 4 Against 5 and all that all happened.
Yep.
Okay, and was that all? You said that was based off of the Tank video originally, or no? This is a different conversation.
Nah, this is the conversation for real. This is like it's really what sparked the interest.
Oh wow! So then they came back 4 years later and said,
obviously,
"Hey."
obviously, obviously the talent too, but
Well,
like I
duh,
think
but you know what I mean? Like, was it like they saw the video recently enough to go back and say, hey, or was it they saw the video like this is dope and then kind of watched your career build and then
yeah,
said, hey,
that's really how it went, because it happened in 2016. I only
right.
partnered up with them in 2019. So they wanted to like actually see the growth, and the A&R. Shout outs to Joseph for me, man. He was like, yo, I'm seeing the growth like online, but I actually want to see how this looks at a venue, like at a show. Does he sell tickets? Does he actually like, have good stage appearance, and like,
Mhm.
does he know how to like put on a show for real? So he actually flew down from Nashville to the Netherlands to come check out my show. And
Really?
yeah, yeah. So he came to the Netherlands. He was so excited. He was so excited that he immediately texted the label, and he was like, "Yo, y'all crazy if y'all don't get this with this kid." So yeah, that's kind of how it happened. And I think a week after that show, I flew to Nashville, and then I met with the team there, and I actually performed at the office, which was very funny and dope.
Oh, really? The office in Nashville, just the office for the label?
We had a department where like the whole staff went to, and they had a band they hired for me, and I just performed all of my songs, and I had everybody in their office clothes, man, like just go wow.
Whoa, tell me about that. I'm in Nashville now too,
Shout
but
out
I
to the
haven't,
Nash, man. Yeehaw!
dude. When I moved here, I thought it was a country town, but I didn't. And then I moved here and I was like, oh, wow, they've got everything going on here. But
Yeah, for real.
that's,
I
well,
was I was disappointed in not seeing a lot of cowboy hats, man.
right. Oh, if you would have
Yeah,
went on Broadway for long enough, you would have seen quite a few. But
yeah, that's
I'm
my
not
vibe.
sure.
I love Nashville, man. So it was fun, man. Like, just getting to meet these people, and then actually like people like what I saw, at a normal J-Way show is what I got to see in an office, which is very weird. you know.
Yeah. Had you ever
So
performed with the band before? Or was that the first time ever really performing with a
I
band as
normally
well?
normally perform with a band. So
Okay.
when Joe saw that in the Netherlands, he was like, we're probably not going to be able to like fly your whole band down, but we'll hire a band to perform with you. So
We've
we
got
can
enough insanely talented musicians here in this town that we could put somebody to put something
exactly,
together for you, right?
yeah. So yeah, shout out to them for that, man. So
That's
yeah.
rad. That is so rad. So you signed the deal, and how what was that moment like? I mean, was it cool to tell your dad like, hey, like this is working, like this
I
is
was like,
happening?
man, I told my mom, I was like, yo, I know you've been waiting to kick me out the house, but like, yo, this this thing is really paying off. Look at this. And man, it's just gives her just this feeling of relief, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been my life has been ever since I signed, man, has been like, you know, so relaxed as far as like not putting everything that I make like back into the music, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like resources wise, they've been really helpful, and just really like on the side of like pushing the songs for real. Cause it's one thing to be an artist, man, like, but then you gotta think about like the whole marketing aspect
Oh
and
yeah,
all
there's
type
so
of
much
thing.
going on.
Yeah, where I'm like, man, like let me just be in the studio and you know enjoy my fans on social media. Like
Uh-huh.
all the antics and all that type of thing, or like, you know, I'd rather leave that to a third party, you know what I mean?
Sure. I totally get that. So we'll the newest one, Shawty Goodnight. Tell me about that song.
I told that shorty good night. I love that song, man. Man. Shorty Good Night. I wrote that song, I think, a month after this girl broke up with me, man. I feel like she broke up with me over the fact that, like, you know, I didn't spend enough time with her. And that was
Mm-hmm.
due to me really hard pursuing my dream. Like, I was really like very you know, girls need attention. They need all
Yeah.
of the, commitment and all that. And I'm all for it. But at the time, I was really selfish when it came to my dreams. So I was like, yo, it's either me or the grind. Nah, shorty, good night. All right, I'm gonna just pursue. So it was fresh in my mind, and I was like, yo, what haven't I touched on, music wise, and what is relatable? Um, my producer, like, you know, when he was whipping the beat, I was like, man, just coming up with concepts. And that was the first line, man. The shorty and I think, you know, stems from like that feeling of like, man, I'm at this writing camp, and you know, you're in the middle of nowhere with your thoughts. And that was like fresh up on my mind, man, just speaking upon like, you know, something that just, you know, just happened. And yeah, that's how it kind of came about, man.
You were at a writing camp when you wrote the song?
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
was the writing camp at?
This in a city that I'll pronounce that you're not going to be able to pronounce in the Netherlands. Um,
Okay.
it was in Haren. Say
Okay.
that?
One more time. I'll be able to do it.
Haren.
Haden.
There you go.
So it's in Haden.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
Haren.
see, I'm good at that. I'm not just kidding.
Yeah, you nice with it. You nice with it. You nice with it.
Well, so you were there. Was it something that you knew? Like, is this a camp that happens like yearly? Like, how did you find out about the writing camp?
When I'm in project mode, I usually do like a writing camp where I like, you know, just kind of camp out somewhere and like, you know, just strictly music. We wake up music, you know what I mean?
Was there a bunch of other artists with you, or is it like kind of an organized thing, or is just you going out there and doing it?
Me and my producer and
Oh,
my
so it's not
camera
like an
guy.
organized writing camp.
Yeah, my main producer, Damie, shout out to Damie, who produced Nino as well. Um, and he and this my video guy, Enzo, that kind of like, you know, took footage of the whole happening. There's all three, just three of us for a whole week. I think we went back into another writing camp a month later. So yeah, that's kind of how it came about, man.
Wow. Okay, so you got that song out of it, and what, a bunch of new songs that you haven't released quite yet?
Yeah, a whole album that's coming out this year.
Oh,
Shorty
wow.
Goodnight is actually like the first single from the album. And if you like that song, man, I can't wait for y'all to like hear the rest of it, man, because we've been sitting on it for a whole year. And it's like, man, I'm just ready to conceive, man.
Oh, so the writing camp was a year ago?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Shorty
And
Goodnight is something that I've been holding in for a good minute, man.
okay, it's a great record, man. I can't wait to hear the rest of it.
You saw the video?
Uh-huh.
The video, man. We shot that last month in LA.
Oh, so that obviously that wasn't done around the same time as the writing camp, but that
Yeah,
was last month that you were able
last
to come
month.
to LA do the video. Tell me about
Yes,
that
sir.
experience.
Man, LA is such a vibe, man. So different from Amsterdam, man. The lifestyle, and then like every part is different.
Hmm.
But I just got to meet so many cool people, yo, when I was out there. And one of my friends, Jenna Wright, that I met down there, that I knew online.
Hmm.
She's been so helpful, man. Like gathering people for the shoot. The experience was live, man. It was dope. Yeah, it was really dope. And I miss LA for real.
Would you do you would you is that something you would entice like would you have her move out to the States, or are you pretty content where you are now?
Um, who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows?
Right
I mean,
on.
you know what I mean? If I meet somebody that's like, down with that idea, who knows, man? You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah, you never know. You never know. I see a mic and some headphones behind you. Is
I
the
stay working, man.
Yeah, do you cut demos quite a bit from there? Or
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
have you ever
yeah.
put out anything from that booth, right, or from your little setup?
Yeah, so I actually recorded the album with this mic right here. Yeah. Um,
Really?
I took my mic to the writing camp. This is actually like a eBay material right here, years from now. Yeah. So
Yeah, that'll be in the Hall of Fame.
yeah, I bought it like during COVID, since we weren't able to like really, have access to the studios in the Netherlands.
Hmm.
So it was the first time that I actually had like a home setup. So yeah, yup.
That's cool. That is cool. And what about, you said you're always working, so I'm sure like over the past year you've got more and more stuff.
I'm sitting on a lot of demos, man. So I'm just trying to figure out what to do with them besides the album.
Right.
Yeah, it's just too much new music, man. Too much music. Because even like, because I just came back from LA like a week ago.
Hmm.
Uh, and it's just like, man, even like being down there, it's like, I made like, I think 20 songs while I was in the States.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
man, this is a whole nother project. What do I do with this? So
Sure.
I'm just
Well,
stacking up songs like Pokemon badges for real at this point, bro.
I
That's my
love it,
approach.
man.
Yeah.
Very cool, dude. Well, I appreciate your time. This has been awesome. One more quick question for you before I let you go. If you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Any advice, man? Yeah, for sure. So you can't make a difference if you're the same. Look for your niche and embrace your niche. Don't run from it. Yup, that's my advice. And yup, assemble a great team.
Bringing it backward.